It's Friday, time for another episode of Ever Roaming. For the best tips, tricks, and gear reviews for section hiking the PCT, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you get notified when I put out a new video, hopefully every Friday. So this week on Ever Roaming, I am going to go over what I pack for a 5-day, 4-night trip. And I will show you some weights too, what that breaks down to for a day's worth of food. So let's start with, probably I guess would be the best thing to do would be to start with breakfast. So what I do is I make my own oat mix, and it's hard to see because I use the same bags. So instead of carrying a bunch of little individual oat packets, I use a 1-gallon Ziploc, and this one's starting to get kind of worn out. In here is rolled oats, almonds, dried apricots that I've chopped up, flaxseed, chia seed, and some cinnamon, some nutmeg. So this is really delicious, and this is going to be multiple servings. Instead of carrying a bunch of little packets that you have trash to carry out, just make your own in one bag like this, and then you just take out a serving when you need it. And this is super delicious. This I either cold soak and have cold, or I will heat it up after it's cold soaked overnight. Because sometimes maybe I might get tired of eating the oats every day, I probably will bring one pre-made freeze-dried breakfast item that's egg. This is a single serving. It's actually a 1.5 serving. This one is the Mountain House scrambled eggs with bacon. This one I will probably, even though it's really packed down, just for savings of weight and size, I will probably take this out of here. Hefty freezer slider bags. I got these at a dollar store, 99-cent store. They actually handle boiling water pretty well, but as I've said before in another video, I don't know if there's toxic things from the plastic. I would guess since it's food grade, it's probably pretty safe, but I'm not gonna say 100%. But sometimes I get tired of the oats every day, and then, so I'll bring something like this, but repackaged for ease of packing and weight. And then, let's see, also important for breakfast is coffee. I don't think that people should carry all those little packets. I do see them occasionally on the trail. I've had to pick them up and carry them out because I found them. I always try to pick up trash when I see it. But instead of carrying all those little packets and having to carry that trash back out, just get a little snack-sized Ziploc bag. This is a freeze-dried instant coffee. And then the white, that creamy color here you see, as I put some powdered milk in there, and then the powdered milk acts as my cream, because I like to have my coffee in the morning. So that is breakfast. One thing I'll also note is I carry these almond butter packets, and sometimes instead of having one in the afternoon, I usually carry a couple extra. I'll usually have one for every day, but what I do sometimes, I put this in my oats with my breakfast and stir that in, and it's quite delicious and adds some great calories. It's got egg white in it, almonds, dates, and of course, no BS. I love this company. Okay, so that covers breakfast. And then let's go to lunch or snacks through the day. So all of the items over here are gonna be lunch or snacks through the day. So for in the morning also, right, I might have like a second breakfast if I'm feeling a little hungry. So I carry these RX bars. I am not sponsored by any of these companies. I will always tell you guys, but these are my favorite things because of the density of them. They fill you up, and then they have so many nutritious things. Like this is 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, 2 dates. And this is a chocolate sea salt. I've tried to find flavors too, that because sometimes when you're out there, you just don't have an appetite and you have to kind of force yourself to eat things, especially at altitude. So I try to find the flavors that really appeal to my palate. And the other nice thing is about this bar is it is 210 calories just for this one little bar. So that's a lot of nutrition packed into here for its weight. And then I also carry a couple of the blueberry flavor. So those I'll carry a few, and I'll have one each morning maybe as a second breakfast. Let's do lunch next. So for lunch, I always carry these tuna packets. I love these. They're really easy to carry. They're a little heavy, but you're getting some meat. At least I like to have a little meat. So the Chunklite tuna and water, or there's another brand also, a couple of the different companies make this. It's not a lot of calories though, it's 70 calories, but it has a good fats and fish oils that are good for you. And then also for lunch, I'll carry a block of just plain cheddar cheese. Obviously this is not the one I'm gonna be carrying because I had just had this in my refrigerator. And then I always carry some tortillas. This is a great little go-to. You just break the cheese up and you put it in the tortilla, wrap it up and eat it. So I have that with my lunch. So cheese, tortilla, and a tuna packet. And then sometimes I'll have also a bar. So it depends on how I'm feeling. So that's lunch. So for afternoon snack, I'll carry some of these little packets of like just a meat stick. These are Tonka, they're gluten-free. I can't have gluten, it makes me very sick. So I found a lot of really great products that I can carry. This is buffalo. So something easy that I can eat while walking or just for a quick break. I keep it maybe in my fanny pack. Like each morning, as I'm setting up for the day, I'll pick out what I want in my fanny pack for the day for lunch. Not this will stay in my pack, but I'll put a tuna pack up there, I'll put a cereal bar up there, I'll put an almond butter packet up there, a snack bar, maybe one of these up there in my fanny pack for the daytime. So if I feel like I need to stop for something, I can. These are one of my other favorites. I'm obsessed with this lemon coconut ginger, these oat bars. I call them a cereal bar because they're very oat-like. They are absolutely delicious, and when you don't have an appetite, they're pretty easy to get down. So I carry a couple of those for maybe this is the afternoon snacks for my afternoon break. I would have like one of these brothers. I love these two, the Bearded Brothers. They came out with cute new packaging. The chocolate, the blueberry, the raspberry lemon, or one of these lemon coconut ginger bars in the afternoon, or a Cliff Bar. Sometimes I save these for dessert though because I like the chocolate ones. All right, and then for dinner. For dinner, my two favorite go-tos are gonna be mashed potatoes or quinoa. So what I do with the quinoa is I put it in a bag, just like I did with the oats, and I know about how much is a serving. So this is about probably about 3 to 4 servings, probably about 4 servings. And then this is seasoned with oregano and then some dried vegetables, dried onion, and a couple of other things. It's got oregano and it's got 21 seasoning in it, or a no salt, like an everything seasoning in there. And then I will alternate too. I will have mashed potatoes some nights. And sometimes I mix the quinoa with the mashed potatoes. With the quinoa, I always try to cold soak during the day. So after I've taken my oats out of the cold soak jar in the morning, I clean it out, put some water, and put in my quinoa. If I stop in the afternoon and pull my food bag out, then I'll check to see if it needs a little bit more water to keep softening up. So when I get to camp, I totally cut down on my cook time, and I'm not wasting all that fuel. Especially if you're at elevation, the fuel doesn't go as far. You need a lot more to reach a boil. So if it's already pretty much there and it just needs a heat and finish, it saves me on that. And then of course mashed potatoes, love. And then what I do to flavor my quinoa, my mashed potatoes, is I carry, and I got these from a great company, let me see. It is the Harmony House backpacking kit. I'll just show you. So I ordered this box through REI, and it has all of these dried vegetables inside and beans. And so you can make, they have recipes that you can follow, like cabbage, carrots, celery, corn, green beans, onions, peas, peppers, potato, tomato, lentils, red beans, black beans, northern beans, pinto beans. There's a ton of stuff in here. And they have little recipes. And so what I do is I'll make up a couple of little bean stews to carry with me. I don't currently have any made, I don't think. So I'll probably make 1 or 2 for this next trip. But I'll carry these little snack size bags and I'll add them to my mashed potatoes or to my quinoa, depending on my mood that evening. So like I've got some carrots and some onion, and let's see, I've got some, looks like peppers, that could be tomato, and then celery, And I know there's green beans in here because I love green beans, green bean. So those are really handy and add a little flavor. So I've said before too that I don't want to carry too much of this type of food anymore because it's super expensive and a lot of it has a lot of sodium. This has 680 milligrams of sodium in it, which is, if you're not doing too much, is fine. But you know, you do need salt out there, and I do carry electrolytes, which I showed last week. But I tried not to do too much salt. You've probably seen in some of my prior videos, I wake up in the morning super puffy. And then I also always carry a little bit of dark chocolate. Sometimes I want a little treat after dinner. If I'm not feeling like having a whole bar, I'll have a little dark chocolate. The one thing that's missing here, and I realized I went to the store today and still tough to find things. The one thing that's missing here is my evening beverage. And in the evenings, I usually like a hot chocolate or a hot apple cider. I think I forgot to mention the dried meats. I carry usually like a chicken and a beef or a turkey and something that you saw the other ones are buffalo, but I'll carry these and I'll either snack on them with my dinner or sometimes I'll just actually put them right into my mashed potatoes or into my quinoa to add a little bit of meat to my dinner, a little extra protein. So those are really handy, and once you open a pack, they last for a couple days, but don't leave them open much longer than that. These are gluten-free as well and really good. So I'm going to show you what all of this weighs. I was going to do it for 1 day's worth of food, but the thing is then I got to like take out the individual days. So I'm just going to show you what all of this weighs. So I have my food scale, I've zeroed it out with this container, and I'm carrying actually probably a little bit extra on the cereal bars, but it depends on my mood and appetite. This one's gonna get repackaged. So that comes out to 6 pounds, 9.2 ounces. So that's just a little over a pound a day for this trip. And I always bring a little extra. I mean, if I really wanted to trim it down, if I were doing the Sierra and I wanted to trim down because of the bear can weight, I could really get really accurate with the portioning, especially on the breakfast and the dinner items. And on how many bars, plus you have a lot less appetite there. But there you can see for the upcoming trip, I'll be carrying 6 pounds, 9.2 ounces worth of food, and then also need to factor in a little bit more, so probably closer to, oh gosh, not quite 7 pounds for if I add in the hot apple cider packets. I don't even think it would come to 7 pounds. And there you have it. So that's what I carry for food when I backpack. And sometimes I mix that up a little bit. I might take out a little bit of mashed potato and I might add like a bean stew or something. But it's quite delicious and you don't get too bored with the food because you're always mixing it up. Okay, and here's a look at almost all of it packed into my bear bag. And it's ready to go. I just have to do a couple little last items and that'll be it. So I will see you next week.